my grandpa Naclis, he would have, that's what they call him, because estaba nalgón. So like,
He would have,
I'm over here thinking it's like a
I'm serious.
Aztec
No, I'm
name.
serious.
Damn.
You would have a pot of beans
Yeah.
religiously, bro. Pinto beans with everything. To this day, I don't know if people are gonna think I'm crazy, but I can swear he said one time, he was like, yeah, I'd even put some beans and maybe my brother can quote me for this, but he was like, yeah, I'll even put some pinto beans on cereal.
Come be part of the show. If you want to showcase your business, Who Got the Juice is the platform. One, two. Yeah. Yo. Who got the juice?
Bay Area Podcast. Tune in once a week.
I had my Hayward shop. It was super small. It was a cash deal rent.
Okay.
Shady landlord, you know. Thank God he gave me the opportunity to get into that place because I had another company that was getting into what I was doing already.
Okay.
You know, I had a business partner where we did paint protection, wraps, all the exclusive cars that were in the Bay Area, and it was big. I got out because he was a shady person, and I got into Hayward, right? Hayward shop was like, you could fit 2 cars. It was shady. I was trying to do all my video edits, it just didn't work, right? Was there for a year, and thank God things happened the way it happened because I got into this place, and I was like, all right, well, the way I built it is like really cool because I could take actual nice videos, pictures. The clients like it a lot better.
Yeah.
You know, the first location, right? I had like Lamborghinis and, you know, all these expensive cars. They would just not go because the first thing they would look is how shady the place looked, and it was small. They didn't want their cars in there. Here it's just like, okay, it's nice. I like it. Let's bring it. I don't even have to sell, no pitch, nothing.
Got it.
You know, but it reminds me because you start from somewhere and you try to put your full on in, and it happens. It works out. And then you start progressing. Then you figure out what you want to do with the business in the future of how you're going to do it and how you want it. Yeah, this is nice and everything, but then again, it's only me right now. You know, I had 7 employees, and at the time we were super busy, and then all of a sudden it stopped.
Pre-pandemic or?
No, this is I'm talking about this year. It kind of slowed down, right? Everything's been slowing down where, you know, you got the major companies already, you know, closing down, and it affects other companies and affects other people because then you don't got the stability of, you know, the work there, you know? And like your story is funny because I was like, you have to do what you have to do in order to keep moving on.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm telling you, when I tell you I was in a shop that was a shit show, it was a shit show, man. Like everybody was shady there. It was like, where am I, man?
Yeah.
You know, and I could tell the clients are like, I ain't bringing my car here.
They'll feel it.
Yeah. And then the way, like I told you in the beginning, when I would talk to my clients, I don't put that front of like, you know, professionalism. I'll give it to you how you see it raw. And if you don't like it, then fuck you, you know, get out of here. You want my work? You want it. I know you do.
Heck yeah.
But, you know, sometimes their pride is like, nah, you look too ghetto. Something might happen to my car or do something like that. But I think now it's because I've been in the industry for so long.
You have a name.
I have it there. They see the work and they love it, you know, and they're going to support your you know, what you love to do, because I love what I do, you know, and I'll continue to do it. But at the same time, we live in the Bay Area. It's expensive, super expensive, right? Like I bought a house here. You know, we're talking about $1 million. You got to keep and maintain all that because something might go out. Like here, we had the toilet go out.
Got it.
Right? You know how expensive it is for commercial here? You have to pay for that. The landlord doesn't pay for that. I have to pay for that, you know? I had 2 plumbers come out. The second one got it down. My buddy, he's a residential plumber. He's like, I can't do it. It requires so much more to do. You got to get a commercial guy to come out here. They have the tools.
Man.
That price doubled up.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
That's crazy. So let me take the time. This is my co-host. This is Minnie. So Minnie can tell you all about her. She's like a full-on woman of many talents.
Okay.
She can. Yeah, she can tell you all day. And let's go ahead and start the podcast. All right. So welcome to Who Got the Juice podcast. I'm your humble host, Fresh, here with
Minnie.
And Armando. So Armando was just telling us a little bit about, you know, his background and his story and how he started his business. So now let's go ahead and like dive into it, right? What is that one car that you can say like, okay, like this is the one that I had like plenty of joy working on?
So there's 2 different breeds of cars that honestly, I could say I've done it all. When I first started, it was a Porsche Spyder 918. Super expensive car, $3 million car, okay? Fucked that car up. I was learning. I swear to God, I was learning how to do PPF, and I had the worst trainer ever. He could care less. He was making
Tell
it.
us about PPF because, like,
Paint protection film is basically a second layer of protection for your car that's basically going to protect it from rock chips, scratches, scrapes, and its self-healing properties. So it's going to make your car look cleaner and it's going to last longer. It's like a time capsule for your car.
gotcha.
Ceramic coating, liquid version of protection. I could go on and on of the products that we do and use. And then going back to the second car, which I love working on, this year was a 1970 Chevelle SS, a true SS.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of cars out here that are fake, and they put the badges and the fake this and the fake that. But this was, one owner vehicle, and he worked on it himself.
Gotcha.
My job was just to make that paint pop after the painter had done everything and restored it. So that's what we do. Is we're a luxury boutique. It doesn't matter what kind of car you have. I just want to work on it. The typical client, of course, it's the expensive cars because they have the money to do it. But then you have that fake baller that flexes, that doesn't want to pay the price because they'll find someone else that's going to do it for cheaper. It's going to be a young person that's a new company, and I'm not bagging on them. It's just they ruin it for the industry because then you kind of have to compete with their pricing when we shouldn't have. Yeah. And they're going to go to that person because they want to be cheap, but it's okay. We're here to fix the problem.
There you go.
It happens a lot. Okay. It happens a lot. You get what you pay for. Remember that. Right. Another thing is, I started off like detailing cars as a kid. I love working on cars. I come from a background of a mixed family, Chicanos mostly, and they all worked on vehicles. So, I was around that demographic where it was hot rods, low riders, whatever it was, I was there, and that's what I became doing. And then, of course, you get older, you're still trying to figure out what you want to do, and I mingled in with a lot of things. So.
And that was here in the Bay this whole time?
That was in the Bay the whole time, from San Jose up to Oakland. Gotcha. I mean, that was the areas that I was going to. Little chamaquito going from San Jose by myself all the way up here with, all the dudes that, we're up to no good. Gotcha. Yeah. So that's the background majority of what I do. It's cars and, trying to mingle into other things because you got to make more money. You got to make a bigger income living here in the Bay Area. And it's sad to see most of the people that are leaving the Bay Area is because they can't afford it anymore. Or they're losing their jobs like we were talking about. These big companies are closing down, right? Yeah. So what are you going to do? You can't really do nothing. Yeah. But there's no excuse for you to not hustle. No excuse. So it comes down to if you got the grind in you, you're never gonna miss out on things or money, and that's what it comes down to.
Do you live by a motto? Like, is there something whenever it gets hella hard? Is there something that rings?
I grew up. I don't want to say I didn't. I grew up poor. We just had to figure out how to get something, but we didn't have the means to do it, but there was always a way. So I remember whenever times get rough, I got to remember I didn't have that, there was a point in my life where I didn't have anything. Right. There was a point too where I was homeless, and it was just remember back to that. Yeah. So like here sometimes it's like the lease it's super expensive, right? And this is a triple net where you have to pay common areas, or if they upgrade the exterior, you have to pay that price. Yeah. So say it was like $3,000 1 month or $5,000. This year it's been $5,000. It's just like holy shit, Yeah. So you got to hustle more. So I start doing that, even though it's just me, and then I have family and friends that come help me out sometimes. Like we'll have 4 or 5 cars and I can't do them all by myself. So I'll call them and be like, hey, I need help. Yeah, and they appreciate it. Yeah.
Like, what's your team like? And you mentioned earlier you're a one-man show right now.
Right now it's and I like it that way because I don't have to focus too much on worrying about them and having work for them, and it's stressful, and that's where it goes into play. Like, remember, you didn't have nothing. So figure it out. If you can't figure it out, then you're not cut to be an owner or whatever you want to do in life. And the guys that work for me, the girls that work for me, the majority of them son hispanos, undocumented. They have more like like, I don't want to say all of them have it, but these particular people have the hustle in them.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out. They'll come and help me out. We'll figure something out. You know, there was times where we messed up a car, right?
Yeah.
I would tell the clients, hey, I'm going to fix it though. We figured it out, you know? Like
Yeah.
sometimes we had to disassemble a vehicle. We had to take parts off. And of course something happens. And then we all think together and we're like, hey, let's figure it out.
Yeah.
This ain't the end of the road. Let's just do it. Don't get stressed out.
But even then, like you like owning up and like fixing
Always,
even
yeah.
that, like that goes a long way because it shows
it
like
does.
you know, like you're not gonna go ahead and be like, oh well, I can't do anything and just leave it at that.
No,
right?
every
Yeah.
mess up I think is an opportunity
Yep.
to like learn
I
from
think
it.
that's where the clients refer so many friends and family to me because I'm straight up and I'll tell them up front. I'll have a car that comes in and I'm like, honestly, your car's been repainted and they didn't even know. And I had to give them the bad news. Today, a Tesla Model Y, it was a 2021. So I'm thinking, all right, the paint's going to be messed up because it's not brand new. Come to find out, I start testing all the panels and because I know paint and I go, hey, your whole car's been repainted and it looks like shit. So I can't give you the option of paint protection film or a wrap because it's going to look like shit. Let me give you a different option. He appreciated it and he goes, oh, you also do tint because he sees the lobby and there's samples of other things. It went from coming in for a full wrap, which is super expensive, to giving you another option, and he appreciated, oh, we'll do ceramic coating and window tint. That's pretty much it.
That's fire though.
And he appreciated that because other people would have been, and this is where I worked for a company doing the same thing. I had to lie to the clients because my boss would be like, nah, you just get the fucking client in. Get whatever you have to do, get the client. And it was shady, and that's why I left. Because we would do jobs or even fake the job that we did something and it wasn't even on there because they were money hungry. And in my industry, I'm not going to say most of them, but I know the people that I know, they're in it for the money. I'm here because I love working on cars. But like I said, going back to being honest with them is like, your car's fucked up. Bottom line, oh, you had the best painter? No, he sucks.
Yeah.
I'll tell them straight up and they appreciate it. You know, or if they got the, because I handle insurance claims a lot too. Okay. Well, I'll talk to an adjuster and I'm like, hey, so your guys left pigtails and this and that. I don't know what pigtails are. This just happened this week too. What do you mean you don't know pigtails? How long have you been doing this? I've been doing this for 15 years. I'm like, and you don't know what pigtails are? That means that's like the sand marks from your DA, and it might have been an 1800 grit to a 3000 grit. And he didn't know what to say. It's like, you fake the job and people don't come back and they leave bad reviews. Mine, I don't push my clients to give me reviews, and I've been in business for a long time, and I think the max that I have right now is like 80, and it keeps going down because the algorithm of Yelp, they have the AI where it says, oh, it thinks it's a fake review, but I don't push my clients to give me reviews. If they want to give it to me, great, you know? But all the reviews are quality reviews, like all these paragraphs.
Well put together and
exactly. And then you get the quality client.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't try to push a sale. I don't try to tell a client, hey, you need this, because at the end of the day, it's their vehicle, not mine.
So it's like a lot of word of mouth. But
It's a lot of word of mouth.
How do you market? Do you go to like
I had a marketing
shows?
team, and I was telling him that, you know, I was paying this team, and of course, they didn't do anything. It's a scam. Just like paying for Yelp or Google. It's all a scam. They're there for the money. But the way I market myself is being real. Like, I'll do the stories on a day-to-day basis. And if it's not even working on a car, yesterday I power washed the concrete because it was completely black. That was content. People could relate to me on whatever I'm doing. If I'm at home and I'm walking my dog and, you know, I post something about that, they can relate.
Can I ask you something? When do you shut it off?
What do you mean?
Because as an entrepreneur, you don't know when to shut it off.
I don't shut it off. I don't.
So what are your, like, you have to build some healthy habits as well. Because do you consider that a healthy habit? And this is interesting to me because, you know, I hear it, the hustle, the hustle, but does it have a pause? And is it a healthy pause?
It's not a healthy pause if I do, because I become stressed out.
Okay.
You know?
You're that type of personality, I think.
That, I think, comes from when I was growing up. It was always like that. So that's your persona.
Yeah.
You grow up to it. That's why it comes out naturally and not fake. And it's always about that.
But is there a burnout after
It is a burnout sometimes, but there's things that I could substitute that with by doing other things. Like, I have a bad habit of buying cars. So that's my stress reliever, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, my
It's like,
dumbass bought.
it's like treat yourself. pretty
Yeah,
much.
you're treating yourself, but it's a bad habit because now you got to make up that money. So that comes back.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
shit, I got to make up this fucking 50 grand that I spent on a car. Now you got to put it back.
But the
You
way
know?
the way that I see it, like, is one thing that you're already doing.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's one thing that you can also navigate and say, like, do I wrap it? Do I fix it? Do I sell it?
Yeah.
So it's something that you enjoy. So I mean, the way I see it is, there's people spending, you know, on worse things. You know, like
At least in
bottle
lines.
service. Yeah, bottle
yeah.
service.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, get $500 get on the
investment,
club.
right?
VIP.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So if anything, like, maybe it's a bad habit and you recognize it on yourself, or like, maybe I can invest it somewhere else.
Oh, of
but
course.
I think if anything is, I hear what you're saying. Like, that's
Yeah.
how you kind of, it's like people when they go like retail shopping.
Yeah.
To go retail shopping is a way of de-stressing for themselves.
Yeah.
It's an actual thing.
That's an actual thing, yeah. And I do that, you know. And I catch myself, like you said that, and it sucks because some of my family members hate it. They hate talking to me sometimes because all of a sudden I'm talking about the business. When it's like, the fuck kind of life do I have besides the business, right?
I hear you.
So then I tend to come up with new businesses. So we have one business that we were talking about, and then I just got my license to sell cars. Then that's another business I'm gonna create. Then we have our clothing brand that you know, Amazon just picked up because I couldn't control it. I didn't have time, so they picked it up. So it's things like that. And you know, when I do connect with my friends, I can't connect with them anymore because they stayed where they
You're
were.
far out already.
That's so real.
You know,
far
and
It's just not the same conversation.
No,
you
it's
can
not.
have with-
You're far out.
You're right. So then I have to relate to other business friends because they're at the same level that I'm at, or I'll tend to find other friends that are above mine and try to relate to that. But I just have like a handful of friends that can relate to me, and then the rest is just they fell off.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, you're still stuck in that era. You're still doing that.
You want me to tell you something?
You know?
My boy also said, I came back to IG and everybody still looked the same.
Oh my God.
That was it. I know, I'm serious. I'm serious.
It's so real. Like,
Fucking
I also
awesome.
took a break from IG, came back, and I was like, yeah, I'm not really interested in any of what's
Right?
going on. So, you know,
Yeah.
I found that like that separation was like a really healthy separation.
It is.
We have to see things from this side of the fence now.
Yeah.
And I love it here. You feel me? But yeah, no, we're talking about like work and how like our own habits we are investing. So I hear you're investing in the brand. So what else have you invested completely separate from this business?
Separate from everything, I'll probably say my home, and you know, cooking, things
Okay.
like that, barbecuing, like looking at other things to do. Right? It's whole. That's like that personal life that most
What's your
people
like
don't see.
meanest dish though?
Oh, look, so
What's your meanest dish?
So I
barbecue.
could say barbecue.
real.
Okay, so you know, tomahawks. You know, nothing. It's not really that crazy if you think about it. It's just like a
Tomahawks,
spicy,
like,
big
I'll tell you this right now, like, not everybody's doing tomahawks. So.
No.
Put me on. I don't know what
Yeah.
this is. What?
So it's,
I mean, it's your big old slab of meat with the bone on it. That's if you go
Oh.
technical on it.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
just saying because like you'll go to like a carne asada and it's pollo,
Yeah,
it's asada.
and that's it.
You'll probably get like oysters if it depends.
yeah.
But so that's-
So me and one of my best friends, we like to throw barbecues in San Jose, and we'll get a group of friends that will all come together. There'll be about 40, 50 people. And we'll just throw down barbecue. Have a DJ. I used to be a club promoter. So we met a lot of friends, right?
Yo, tell me why I do see that. Like, okay.
We all still every year we still get together in the summer and we'll throw our little bash, we'll throw our little flyer. Hey, everyone come through.
How do you pay for that? Is this like a self-promo thing? Is this like a group thing?
I mean, it's for our friends, and it's bring your own booze, bring whatever you want,
okay,
you know.
okay.
But the majority, it's me and my buddy putting the money in for the food, you know. We'll have a lot of people bring their stuff, their little dishes, which helps out. Then we'll have the DJs come through, and it's all
cookout.
free. Yeah, it's a cookout. We'll go to the east side of San Jose in a little
backyard boogie.
community park. It's dope.
People still say that, right?
Yeah. But it's literally that. I think that's what I wait till the summer to really start living because throughout the time it's work.
Absolutely.
And then like, you know, we'll go to like the little festivals that they'll throw either in Dublin, Oakland. We'll try to go to those things, you know, or just take a trip to LA.
So you have something to look forward to.
I do.
Which is what I feel like could keep you motivated as well.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, so can you talk about challenges though? Like we know how you stay motivated, but how do you go through the challenges? And this is something you got to dig deep because everyone, we all have challenges, like for real. And is this something that is like mentally it's a block, or is it something that's manifesting physically for you?
I think I do a lot of manifesting. It comes down to that. Challenges, you can't really put it in say when I was growing up in the hood, there was a lot of challenges. We had to figure things out. I remember having Cortezes that had, they were always ripped in the front. So I had to crazy glue that shit.
I'd be creative.
So I had to go to fucking Safeway, Lucky's, fucking steal the shampoos and conditioners and go door to door and sell them to get a fresh pair of kicks.
Wow.
You know? My mom, she knew what I was doing, but in a way was like, no, mi hijo no está haciendo eso. He's not doing that shit.
Yeah.
But in reality, I was,
you know? She was in denial, do you think?
She knew what I was doing. She knew that she couldn't afford to provide things for me, you know? And then that's where I went from home to home. Like I would go to my uncle's house to live because I was like so crazy. I didn't like authority, you know? So challenges back then were different to what they are now. Now I can't complain about not having anything or say I can't figure out how to do something. I'll figure it out in a way because I had less. That was a challenge back then. Now it's just more of like
more money, more problems.
In a way, it is. Trust me, it is.
Because you got to keep up with the lifestyle.
I got to keep up with the lifestyle that you're living, and then not only that, paying taxes. Uncle Sam, fuck you.
He taking it.
No, man.
Do you have kids? Are you putting?
I don't have kids, and I always didn't want to have kids because of the way I grew up.
You were a rebel.
Exactly.
That's scary.
And it's like, why would I want to put that in my life right now? Even though if I did, I would, you know, but.
Would you be open to having kids?
I would be open. I would be open, but it's been a challenge for years.
How old are you?
I'm going to be 40 in November.
40.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still a good age.
Thank you.
For men anyway, you feel me?
So, I mean, it's more of like,
and when you say
scary, dude.
I was gonna say when you say it's a challenge, like what is a challenge? Obviously, like the woman has to play a part, right? Or let me address this, right? Because it's not even let's not even get there because I'm about to get smoked, right?
You know he can get
no, I'm serious. I'm about to get smoked when I say that. At least what is stopping you from, you know, pursuing on, because, you know, like the practicing part, right?
Yeah.
You're going to do that all day. Are you holding back from saying like timing, like, you know, like.
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
It was, I made the excuse of timing. And trust me, you know, teens and my 20s, I was a fucking whore, man. And I always had to back up. I had to back up, and I was just like, no, I ain't gonna follow in the footsteps of my friends because they all had like 15 kids. You know, they were all on child support. I saw so many problems with them at a young age. You know, I went to a continuation school, and most of the girls were there because they got pregnant.
Wow.
You know.
I work at a continuation high school. It's not that, but we do see some of that.
Yeah. Now it's back then it was
shout out the continuation schools.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. You actually get more stuff done than an actual school because you're there to graduate. You're there to learn. There's one-on-one time with the teachers.
You're gonna make it happen. There's no like, you know what, like, let's see how you're gonna do it. No, like you gotta do it. You
gotta do it. There's no excuse. I mean, school wasn't for me.
Okay.
But I'm very smart
is it something that you can teach now? So maybe it wasn't for you, but maybe people will look up to you for, you know, the teaching resources.
There's a lot of youngsters that reach out to me, and I do give advice as like a father figure, and I think they do see me as that, or the OG. They know that I've been through a lot, and it's much more than whatever I lived. Now they see it because I'm doing something that they want to do too. You know,
that's a very popular thing, I think. You know?
And it's great. It's a good feeling. So that's where it goes into play. Well, maybe I can be a good father, but my father figure wasn't there. So there wasn't really much
Important.
to,
That's
learn.
important.
So it's
from.
crazy because I'm gonna just cut you off right there. There's two things that you said, right?
Yeah.
One of them was figuring out how you're gonna do something where we're talking about challenges.
Yeah.
Second, you said not having a father figure, right? So there's this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Have you read it or
I
not?
haven't, no.
Have you heard about it?
I heard of it, yes.
That's one thing that versus you buying that next Mustang
Yeah.
SS, whatever you want to call it.
Invest in that.
Invest into one single book that even if the audio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll at least like pick maybe some good things that I kind of got from that.
Okay.
So he obviously had a poor dad, he had a rich dad.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give you the whole story because you still got to go ahead and look into some of it. But one of the good sayings that I still follow to this day is how can I? So I also came from a family that didn't have absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Did we have good stuff? Few.
Yeah.
But a lot, you putting like, let's say soaps and getting your money to go ahead and I had to cut hair for that. I had to get cash flow like that. And that's how I was, going out and having my little money or whatever.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I will tell you is how can I is something that you can also install into your kids because that's very true. Like instead of saying no. As far as like, no, you cannot get this because of X, Y reason or money or something. It's more of a how can I or how can we go ahead and get this? It could be
change in mindset.
Yeah, it could be very little. It could be a toy. It can be whatever it is. Who knows? Kids now these days are probably going to get a Tesla spaceship at this point, right? But so it's that itself. I mean, you worded it different, and it's something that you had to learn yourself.
Yeah.
So it's actually pretty good. As soon as you said that, I'm like, let me go ahead and pitch this. And also not having a father figure, you had to learn all that yourself. I give you props for that.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's funny that you mentioned that too, because I got two nephews, and I got one that already is in college. The other one is going to be a senior next year. Today's his prom. He got invited to a prom here in Alameda, so I'm going to be showing up with my car just so he can take some cool pictures with the car, right?
Yeah, that's so cool.
One of them is a hustler. One of them gets everything handed to him.
There you go.
And that cripples him.
Yeah.
I recently had him here to come work for the shop.
Yeah.
Never again, I told him. And I told him straight up. I could kind of tell he was kind of like mad. And then I have the youngest one that'll hit me up. Hey, I'm off. What do you got for me? Come over. He'll hustle. He lives in Vacaville, and he just got his detailing company, dog poop services, and what else was it? Cutting grass. So you got the kid that's going to college. Hopefully he goes to college, but I don't think so because he's already starting his hustle, and he's. You got the nephews like, oh, I want that Mercedes. I want this. How are you going to get it? You don't have no life skills, but football, because that's what he went to school for. Then you got the little one that's like, okay, well, he already has that mindset, and he sees me, and he'll text me. And yesterday he texts me, and he goes, hey, uncle, I got one of my friends that's copying me. What do you mean copying you? He started his detailing company. And I'm like, well, get used to that. There's going to be a lot of people copycatting you because they see what they want to do, that you're doing good and you're making money. You're making your own money. He's into bikes right now. So he wants to get a truck so he can put his bike in and, roll out. Okay. So he has that hustle mentality, but the new age kids get everything handed to them because now, parents like us that already have it, we're giving it to them because we didn't have it. And that cripples the new generation. Like yesterday, like I said, I pressure washed the floors, and I had this kid that came up to me in Home Depot, and he saw the car, and he's like, oh, Shay, you got a badass car. Like, hey, do you need work done in your house or your car? And I'm like, well, actually, I need the floors power washed. You know how to do that? He goes, yeah, I got the equipment. Yeah, let's go. Cool. Gets here, and I leave him alone for like 30 minutes, come back, and it's a shit show. I was like, what's up, bro? Like, what did you do? Like, it looks like shit. I had to tell him, I was like, get out of here, man. And like, if you wanted to do something, and I told him, I was like, look, I'm going to teach you how to do this little section so the next time you go and you do the work for someone else, you at least know how to do it. Yeah. But he didn't want to take my advice and was like, fuck you, and left. And I'm like, damn, dude.
He's like,
and I'm like, okay, there's just the new generation is a lot different how we were Well,
How much they charge you for that though? Just
he wanted. I think he said $600, $700. He wanted to charge me.
because I was gonna say that right now.
Like, hire me.
Yeah, right,
I need that extra cash.
I was saying that a while back ago. Like, so because we live in the Central Valley, la mano de obra is less because of the house value, right? And I went to Home Depot and I had this conversation with also I said, because my grass is looking crazy right now, right? And he has a pretty big backyard himself, but part of it tiene like pebbles, the little wood chips or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and then the rest of the back is all, grass.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, it took me like about this much to go ahead and clean it. I'm like, okay, for sure.
Yeah.
You see mine's look like Jumanji, bro. Mine's look like Jumanji. And so I was like, out of curiosity, right? Like my neighbors, like, siempre le están haciendo el zacate y todo.
Yeah.
And I told the guy, I'm like, hey, I was like, exactly. I was like, bro, you must have came outside. He took like 2-3 steps. I still offered him water. I mean, common courtesy.
Yeah.
And he's like, just looking at it, he's like, unos 400. And I'm like,
oh, those are Bay Area
I'm
prices.
like, wait. I told him, I was like, wait. I'm like, what are we gonna do here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he
was like, suddenly I got the energy to do this on the weekend.
And then that boy also was like, I mean, and that came to my head because I'm like, now even like, I didn't even want to go check because Home Depot, we do have a Home Depot over there, but there's a gas station that is right by, the junction that brings you to Tracy or Fresno, and I like to call that the mini Home Depot.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like next to McDonald's. It's obviously people are stopping, they're pumping gas, and it's like an intersection where people are coming and there's people that won't work, right?
Yeah.
And let alone like I was like, maybe I can stop there, maybe I can ask. But then at the same time, I was like, even now these days, like even little small things like that, if you don't know how to do like electrical, I recently had to put my lights in the house because eventually none of the houses over there have that. I didn't know that. So even I had to learn how to do, things like that because I'm just like,
you're a homeowner now.
I was and let alone I'm like, so obviously now I'm gonna cut my grass, right?
Yeah.
It's like whoever thought like they're gonna like go ahead and give me like a quote of like, like for what, for cutting it? So it's funny that he's crazy is when you said that for the for like
he walked in and automatic.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how it is, though. It sucks, and I'll tell you right now. Like sometimes you have a nice thing, and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be this much. Oh, it's gonna be that much."
Yeah.
But eventually, you have to do it yourself to get it done right.
Would you say this generation is soft?
Hella soft.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like they're so afraid of hard work.
Hard work. They want everything easy. Everything handed to them, and I blame the parents.
Yeah.
The school system is the same way, and it's almost like you're getting into politics when you talk about the new generation.
Yeah. We have to.
Back in the day, you had to do. I grew up in the '90s where it was rough in the '90s, and it made you hard to where you lived. Nowadays,
like we were given a little adversity. Is what it is, and I feel like now it's like we want to remove their adversity, not knowing that we're actually like hindering their growth, like for real.
Are they doing still PE or no? I don't know. PE, they used to make you run crazy, boys.
Oh yeah,
they used to like do
push-ups, man. We used to have a big field over in San Jose, and man, we used to do it just to go talk to everybody else. We had a high school right next to us, and the time that I had PE, they were already on their break. And I'm like, "What's up, girls? What's up?"
Cooking.
Hey. But now this generation.
And what's your pickup line though? Like, let's say
I had no pickup lines. I was a pretty boy.
Okay, so like you just like pulled up. You just pulled up, and you're just like, I'm him.
Yeah. Okay. Most of the friends I had were older, and most of them were girls too.
Okay.
So I already had my foot in the door just doing that.
You knew how to talk to women, is what it is.
I didn't have to talk to women because I am the way I am. Tengo una manera bien rude.
Yeah.
So
rude.
It like.
Explain.
The girls would be like, "Oh, you're so stuck up. You're into yourself."
Oh.
And it wasn't that. It was just the way I talked. Is the way I was raised. I had a great uncle that took care of me. he died, passed away. I want to say like it's been 5 years, and he was 104.
Damn.
So the age gap was big.
Boy.
Yeah, he was. You know, he was mixed Japanese and Mexican.
Bro.
You know, so it was like
my grandpa,
old school.
My grandpa Naklis, he would have. That's what they call him because estaba nalgón. So like,
He would
I'm over here thinking it's like a Aztec
No, I'm
name.
serious.
Damn.
You would have a pot of beans religiously, bro. Pinto beans with everything. To this day, I don't know if people are gonna think I'm crazy, but I can swear he said one time he was like, "Yeah, I'd even put some beans and maybe my brother can quote me for this, but he was like, "Yeah, I'll even put some pinto beans on cereal." Like he was that guy. I'm being dead serious. Like,
El hierro.
dude, I'm telling you right now, whatever formula he had, like he recently passed, but like people are not making it to like past 50. Like, so even you telling me that it's 100 and something, I'm like,
and my snack was a tortilla, limon, salt. Let's go,
bro.
That's what it was. Or if you had the hot dogs, just put the hot dog in the tortilla, and that was your snack. You know?
Mi abuelita hacía unos burritos.
Yeah.
She used to call them burritos. It's just like a masa. And she would like half cook it, and so it was soft.
Oh,
And
shit.
she'd stuff it with cheese, and then like
I'm hungry right
or
now.
just a masita cup, and then mantequilla. Ooh, come
I
on,
used to
that's
love going to my
comfort.
grandma's house.
That's
She would make us
comfort.
whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
And we all the cousins used to go to the same school. So there's about 10 of us. No, about 10 to 12 of us. Every lunch, we'd go walk over to grandma's house, and you want a hamburger? You want fries? You want chicken wings? She would make it. She would get down.
Damn.
Like everything, you know? That fucking, I know it was fucking, like, was it food stamps? Because she didn't work.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah,
What was her best dish though? Like, what was that one dish where you're like, she's making it, I'm fighting?
Shoot, you know what it was? I think it was like her hamburgers. Because we didn't get that when I was with my uncles or my mom. We didn't get
It's all
that.
like Latin.
Yeah, so I was tired of the fucking beans. I was tired of the Asian food, like, cause that's all it was, cause it was mixed.
Yeah.
And then go to my grandma's and be like, hamburgers, barbecue something.
Yeah.
That's where I learned to like start barbecuing. I would watch her and just do whatever she was doing with the seasoning and how she would cook it. And then when, I got old enough to start cooking for myself, that's when I started getting down in the kitchen,
Yeah.
It's like, this is how I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna change it, make my own type of recipes.
Yeah.
But I think that's what it's so basic, but that's because I couldn't get it every day, and she would make it. That was the best dish.
And it's the opposite, because I would go out to eat every single time. Any chance, que BJ's, it could even have been fast food.
Yeah.
And now that I'm like living, let's say at the house, now I'm like, fuck, bro, my pop's fucking huevos con, chicharrón.
Oh,
dude, like,
The homemade salsita.
he makes like the most. I think at one point, I don't even know if I said this, but he even made like beans, chicharrón, and egg in one dish, like mixed with some like
Quesito
salsa.
fresco.
So I don't know what
That's it.
but
It's todo.
he whipped it. Let alone like it was one of those that he was just like, dude, I don't even know what I did.
Yeah.
Damn.
You got it. You got
But
it.
it was little things like that. Like now I miss things like that. Like now I'm like, damn, like when people tell me like, oh, let's go get sushi, and all that, which we did talk about that in the last podcast. Although people tell me like, I see like to try new things, I'm still open to try new things. Like, but like grandma's enchiladas verdes or grandma's pozole, like they still come at least once a year.
Okay.
And when they throw a party or something, I'm
looking
going.
forward to that.
I'm going. Yeah, I'm going. And if I tell them, I'm like, don't make her cook, but like,
That's so real.
I'm gonna get cooked for that. It's okay. But I'm telling you right now, like, she makes the best pozole. Like, and then enchiladas verdes, like, I've told her this to this day, like, nobody makes enchiladas verdes spicy. At least the times that I've had them, is usually the rojas, because the rojas like kind of have this little,
they have the sauce.
Sauce to it.
And the green ones, for some reason, like usaban el pomo, botaban, like, the one that is already like in that yellow can.
Oh, yeah.
And they just whipped it like that, and le ponen queso.
It tastes sour to me. Like it's just not.
Yeah.
I feel you when it's all about the salsita, dude. If you got
homemade
that down,
salsa.
But it was spicy, bro. Like it was like you would she would be like, you may want to put some more sour cream. Because that's how, like, my grandpa had fucked up. Like, she was mad as fuck. Because, you know, they say they're mad,
Sí.
but the food is going to come out spicy for sure.
¿Quién te emputó, they would ask?
Heck yeah.
And I have to have all my food spicy. It doesn't matter. I'm like, dude, it's not spicy enough. But you getting older, it's just you got to stop because you
gotta
get
think
that
about-
heartburn and all the other complications. I was like, damn, I can feel it now, you know?
Real.
Yeah, but like
All
going
the
out to
gases or what? Or are you talking about, like, the sharding or?
no, like
Oh.
hiccups, like burn, you know, your chest, like
Yeah.
that's the worst. I'm like working and all of a sudden, I'm like,
Oh, so you got, like, the little Tom's Twist.
yeah. So like now I hate eating out. I hate it. Like I want homemade food every day. So whatever we can make up, I'll look in TikTok and see a
I think
recipe
we're all the
and
same,
do all
Lord.
that.
This is for real, for real.
Oh yeah.
Like, este año, you know, I took a new position and I put cooking to the side. I'm like, fuck that. Like, because that's
cooking
it's a
or-
2-hour
Yeah.
commitment of
Yeah.
like, you know, preparing the food, you know, finally cooking it and then the cleanup and boy, I'm
All
like,
of
oh,
that's a process.
do I really want to invest 2 hours of my life?
Yeah.
And so the easiest solution is to get something door dashed.
True.
And so like I've been living like this the whole year. That's
Yeah.
why it's like 45 pounds later, right? I know, like, but no, that's something real. And so now it's affecting me. Now my skin is all messed up. And so
Yeah.
like, so for me, in the skin, you show your gut through your skin.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if you're having like skin issues, it's probably because you're eating a lot of preservatives. So that's where I'm at. So
Gut
I feel like
health,
now
deep.
everybody in the house is like, oh, come on, let's get
Yeah,
some
gut
any
health.
homemade
Yeah.
food, even frijolitos, bro.
That's my favorite, bro. Pinto
that
beans,
over
pinto
anything.
beans to this day is probably one of my favorite. And my grandpa used to make it, and we used to get into real life arguments. Like, I'm serious. Like, me and him used to get in real life arguments because that's all he want every single day.
Yeah.
En la mañana yo estaba like, es que vas a agarrar pan dulce.
Yeah. Nope.
Nope, you're not gonna get this right now. You're gonna eat some of this, and it was era con la cuchara, like
Yeah.
Sí, como sopita.
yeah, like dude. But I'm like, damn. And now I'm like, it's one of those things that I'm just like,
Need
you know,
that
you
back.
miss. You're just like,
Need that back.
Oh, trust me. There's times where, like, I haven't seen my mom in a few weeks, and I go over there and I'm like, "Hey, what are you making today?" And she'll tell me, "I'm like, I'll be over there. I'll bring my like to-go box too.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Have enough, and she'll make enough for like me for a couple of days or whatever, you know." Because
What is your mom's like best dish?
Man, I'll tell you the truth. When she married my stepdad, she didn't know how to cook.
Oh, okay.
So his mom had to teach her how to cook all this stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But she still
But
gets
her
the
best,
recipes
I
off.
think, yeah, you know what it is? Man, she has a couple of dishes. I mean, and if I can't remember, it's because her cooking's not that great. You know?
Okay.
Her pozole is bomb. I always like pozole. And I hated menudo. So she would make pozole and menudo at the same time because my pops didn't like that. So she would make both of them. Yeah, the pozole. So I was like, no, I want this and I want that, you know?
So he didn't like, your step-pops didn't like the pozole, but
Yeah.
you like the pozole, but he liked the menudo.
Exactly. So she had to make two dishes, you know?
I never got the whole point of like menudo, but
Yeah.
maybe it's one thing that it would probably grow on me later.
It's just a different kind of meat, you know?
I think the thing is just that
texture? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't like it. It was the texture. It felt funny, you know? And then when I found out what it was, I was like, holy shit.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
For sure.
But it kind of the soup has almost the same taste because it's the same, you know, spices that you're putting into it, you know?
Yeah.
And compared
But can you
to...
dress it up the same?
No, I don't think. I mean...
Can you dress it up the same?
You can't really...
Don't put another pollito.
No, exactly. I mean, you could do
cut
that,
up,
but
you
it's a
know,
different taste. Like
radishes.
she said, acquired taste.
Yeah, it's a very specific taste. And then like not everybody cleans it the right way.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
If you
See,
have
I
a really bad
mm.
experience, con eso tienes, you won't go back to it.
I didn't even think. I
Right?
didn't even know how they do it. How you got to clean it.
You got to really clean it because
Yeah,
remember, it's the
like-
stomach. You got to take out all the poop, all the stuff that's in there, and make sure that it's all
That's
clean.
the problem. You don't even ask what you're eating sometimes.
Yeah.
You just-
Yeah, man. I remember I used to eat lengua tacos, and I didn't know it was lengua. And my mom was like, "Oh, you like those tacos, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, what is it? Lengua. What do you mean lengua?"
Yeah.
The cow's tongue. I was like, "Oh, hell no." I stopped eating it from then.
I couldn't,
You
I
know?
couldn't get that one either, bro. Like, I think it was the same thing that
The texture.
Yeah, the texture.
Yeah.
I did tell also though, like in the Central Valley, there's these tacos that are $1.
Oh shit.
So, he's like, oh shit. He's like, oh shit. So I told him, I said,
come be part of the show. If you want to showcase your business, Who Got the Juice is the platform. 1, 2, 1, 2.